So let's just talk to fans a little bit.
Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws. Out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it for Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, what? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple! But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to that page, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent! And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. You get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, what? Come on. Don't even tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. What is wrong with you? Listen, wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you get your apps from. It doesn't. Just go there, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth. Doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And if you're watching us on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Yeah. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. In case you didn't know. In case you ain't know. Sorry, I had a little get a little urban there. In case you're unaware of this situation, we do have our own Roku channel. So do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your Roku television. Excuse me. Put it right next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Man, hold on. Did you see the season finale for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan? Did you see that? Oh my God, Becky. Whoo, man. Sorry, I got fired up. When I saw that, I was like, damn. Sorry. Yeah, download it. Put it next to Showtime. All of them. All right, so you can watch this on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right? Mickey, Ficky, now. Now you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZoneChi, that's CHI. at Sports Don't Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Listen, we have a great show for you tonight, but I need you tonight. Did I say tonight? It's morning. Well, depending where you are in the world, we have a great show for you today. I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. I'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago sports talk morning show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. We want all that smoke, all the questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it, just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat. The chat was jumping like crazy this morning. My man, Cornelius Squalls, what up? Jason. Wow, Jason. I'm a little hurt, boss. You say hi to Cornelius. All right, you say hi to Patty. You let me say hi to me, dog. Damn. My chopped liver. Nice. That's how you feel, cuz? That's how you feel? Okay. Patty Lara in the house. Good morning, Ma. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. My son Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. It is House Music Monday, baby. And the Bears, you are on the clock. Yes, you are, doctor. Yes, you are. My man, James Ford in the house. And listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. Okay? More of the usual suspects will check in as the show goes on. They will. Aha. And let me say good morning to Jeremiah and Dito Armandito. Now see. Now you want to say it right now. Now you talk to me now, huh? I'm busting your balls, Jay. So let me say good morning to Jeremiah and Armando Emeterio Lara, the fourth. I know Armando the fourth, or Dito, or Jojo, as they call him. He's not watching because he's in school, or he should be. But I'm sure you will show him this later. So Jeremiah, Dito, good morning, gentlemen. I love you. Awesome. Thank you, Steve-O. Appreciate it. So we got a great show. Brandon Hyatt on the Chicago Sports Podcast is going to join us at 10 o'clock. We got a lot to talk. A lot to talk. We're going to talk. There's my New York accent over there, like Shawn. I don't know why I'm using my New York accent. I'm not from New York. Jason, appreciate it. Popping in and out. Cool, Papa. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Thank you. I don't know why I'm talking New York style. I don't know. You know what? I miss my New York people. I have to make a trip out there. I got to take a trip out there soon. I do. Awesome. Thanks, Steve-O. Yeah, I miss my New York peoples. All the peoples. Man, so for those of you who don't know, I lived in New York for 2 years. All right. Great time, man. But I got a lot of people up there. I lived there for 2 years. My roommate from college is from New York. All right, that's how I got there. He lives in Connecticut now. He's doing really well. He lives in Connecticut now. He don't live in New York anymore. He takes the train in every day. And my girls, Daniela, her and her husband, their daughter, my girl Liz, her and her husband. I mean, they're just Man, I hit up my girl Sierra Santos. She lives in Jersey, right across the river. Yeah, I need to get up. I need to get up to New York, but mostly to see Troy. Troy's my roommate from college. That's my guy, and yeah. I gotta head back to NYC. Telling you, within the next 5 years, by the time I said when I was 55. All right, I gotta get on it. I gotta write a book. The stories I had have been epic. Epic. Let me just tell you. Names will be changed to protect the innocent, of course. But yeah, I need to get back to New York for a weekend. Yeah. So Brandon, as I was saying, Brandon Hyatt from the Chicago Sports Podcast is going to join us. Talk a lot of things Bears. Don't forget we had the Hall of Fame announcement last week. We talked about that, but I know it's a special topic for Brandon. Brandon was one of the first guys to spearhead the campaign to get Mongo, Steve McMichael, into the Hall of Fame. He's become great friends with his wife, Misty. And we want to talk about that with him because that's been a close. That's been something that's been on his mind for the last year plus, and to see it finally come to fruition, I know he's happy. He's got to be ecstatic, like the family is, like Misty and Steve's friends, and yeah. So we're gonna talk Hall of Fame. We're gonna talk Mongo. We got a lot to talk. He'll probably close out the hour with us at 10 o'clock. All right. He'll probably close out the hour with us. And, it's just, it's what he did was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. Let me see. Just kind of spearheading that whole thing. That's a big undertaking, and he had various get-togethers and at different locations in and around his spot. It's hats off, man. Hats off to him. Hats off. I just think that's cool. Sorry. Yes. This is craziness. What are we doing here? So Brandon's going to join us at 10 o'clock. Like I said, most likely he'll close out the hour for us. So, yeah. There's still a lot going on, though. And we have a lot to talk about and I want to get to it as soon as possible because yesterday's game affected a lot. All right, in regard to our Bears. Arturo. Good morning, people. My man, good morning. I've only known, I want to say 4 Arturos in my life. So my grandma's boyfriend, I was a little kid. No, some has to be like 6. He had a son named Arturo, who was like my mom's age. Then he had Arturo Jr., and then there was Arturo the third. Then my guy Rock, who's a police officer, and then I had one student, and I taught in Black and brown communities, and I had one Arturo. That's crazy. But good morning, Papa. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, interesting. My guy Rock, my guy Arturo is a Chicago cop. So I think he's pretty close to retirement now. You know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? Is that so many of my friends, some have, and some of them are close to retirement. Hell, my cousin, who's a year younger than me, just retired from Cicero Police Department. 25 years. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Man, back in the house, Mr. Shorty. What's up, Papa? Thanks for tuning in. Shorty in the house. St. Rita's finest, Mr. Warner. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. You guys got me all fired. You can see how crazy. All the 4 or 5 Arturos I met. Yes, my guys are all Mexican. I don't know any black folks named Arturo. I know black folks named Carlos, but not Arturo. Oh man. Oh, I don't know if you know. Well, I don't know if you know this. I'm black and Mexican, Mexican and black, whichever. Believe me, I got a lot of flack growing up. If I said black, if I said I was black and Mexican to my Mexican friends, like, why don't you say you're Mexican first? If I said I was Mexican and black to my black friends, they're like, why don't you say you're black first? It's like, I'm half and half. I'm a Blaxican. How's that? And I stuck with Blaxican. Everybody figured it out. It is a great name, dude. That is his dope name. It's like a man's name. You know what I mean? Like, there's some women names or men names. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough to be a kid. It could be a kid, you know, okay for kids, but that's like a man's name. Maybe because my first encounter was, you know. But anyway, I digress. I digress. Oh man, you guys got me going this morning. You know, there was a lot that, you know, yesterday's game showed me. You know, yeah, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to dive into it. We're going to talk about it because, you know, it's interesting why people, I don't know, you know, the anti-Justin crowd have been very vocal, very disrespectful. You know, and that's the crazy part. If you don't agree with their opinion, then you're a clown. You're an idiot. You don't know the game. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I dare someone to say that to me. We'll sit down and we'll watch tape, if you even know how to watch tape. But I digress. They've been very, very disrespectful. And the thing is, and I feel that they're the ones who've really started this divide, and there's no need for it. We're all Bears fans. Right? We're all Bears fans, and this civil war that we have going on is really unnecessary. Okay? I mean, first of all, it has a lot, it explains and has a lot, it shows your colors, what you're about. All right, because just to all of a sudden call people a clown and an idiot and you don't know shit and all this because someone doesn't agree with your take, it says a lot more about you than it does me or the people who want Justin to stay as QB1. But there's no need for it. You know, and the thing that part of the thing that bothers me is that, I shouldn't say bothers me, annoys me. I guess which bothers me, but annoys sounds better. Is that people who say this, they regurgitate what they hear. And that's my biggest thing. That's my biggest thing. And you know what? And it's so funny how, because you have a platform, you know, we have Twitter, we have social media, it's so easy to give your opinion. Okay, cool. And we have every right to have our opinion. We do. But don't start spouting off and parroting what you've heard from someone else, but then not be able to back it up, not be able to understand it. You know, like if you work in HR, there's a lot of things that most people everyone else who doesn't work in HR, there's a lot of things we don't understand. There's a lot of things we see on the surface and we can say, oh, why not this? Why not this? Why not this? But there's things behind it. Here's a good one. Here's a good one for all those Caleb cultists, because they like to call us Justin cults, Justin sexuals and everything. So all the Caleb cultists, Why don't they have a podcast, and why don't they jump in on podcasts regarding women? They've been around women their whole life. They're born from a woman. Why don't they jump in on opinions on what women should do? Oh, wait. Why don't they, if a woman disagrees with them, why don't they call them a clown or an idiot? They've been around women longer than they've been involved with football, so they should know more about them. I'm just saying. You got a name from a woman, got a game from a woman. So it's been frustrating having this divide, from that camp. And people talk about from my perspective. Okay, I get it. Your perspective. If you played at a high level or coached at a high level, I can still disagree with it. I can hear what you're saying because I understand that side. Like I don't close my mind off. I don't say this is my no. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. No, I understand your point. I understand your side of the argument. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And that's the cool part about this country. We don't have to agree with it. We don't. But you don't have to go, go calling people names because people don't agree with it. We'll get into it. I'll talk a little bit more about it after we get done at the top of the morning segment. But before we get to the top of the morning segment, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, sorry about that. On the other side of the break, we will start our top of the morning segment. All right. So, yeah. Just like religion policy, we can respectfully disagree and not resort to insults and conflict. Arturo, exactly, bro. We could talk a little shit after, like when Justin gets, it's QB number 1 and cool, and let it go. Like if Justin gets traded and they draft Caleb, they're going to be on us. That's why I'm going to be the biggest jag bag. But stride, hey, I'm ready for it, whatever way it goes. Like, come on, man. But listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we will get to our top of the morning topics, okay? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Third and 14, starting the second. Purdy steps away from the heat, heaves it, and it's knocked away at the last moment. Oh, boy. Jawan Jennings, trick play. Oh, this ball's in the air for a long time. McCaffrey's able to pull it down, and he's going in for the touchdown. Trying to take the lead. Mahomes goes for it right away, wide open. Touchdown. 1 second on the play clock. 2nd and 9. Purdy's pass. Caught. Jennings did it. What an effort. Breaking tackle. What's going on? 1st and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. That, my friends, was the Super Bowl from last night. Super Bowl last night. I know this has to be my guy Hirsch. Fuck your Chiefs, but congratulations. Congratulations on the repeat. That's all I could say. That's all I could say. Congratulations. Congratulations. You know what? Good luck going for your three-peat next year. All right, you put yourself in position to do that. Congratulations. AC Adam, what's up, Papa? How are you? Believe me, I was a Niner. I've been a Niner fan for my whole life, ever since the 80s. If the Bears didn't win it, I wanted the Niners to win it. All right, got a Roger Craig jersey I wore yesterday. You know, and so here's something real funny for you. So I have a Roger Craig jersey, a throwback jersey that I wear. I wore it yesterday. I'm sitting in the bar, and my buddy spotted Local Cantina over on 95th in Oak Lawn. And 5 minutes into the game, in walks a dude with a Joe Montana throwback. I was like, that's awesome. I'm like, Joe Montana, Roger Craig. Glad you could make it. Oh, that was classic. But anyway, what are we going to do? Yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, here it is. So, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
All right, let's see the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Here we go. We'll start this way. On Saturday, baby, the Bulls. Only the Bulls. Bulls were tough one. Tough one for our boys. The Bulls lost in overtime to the Orlando Magic 114-108. DeMar DeRozan led the way with 28 points for the Bulls. Vooch, Mr. Walking double-double, 25 points, 17 rebounds. Chicago's very own Ayo Dosunmu contributed 19 points, and Kobe White continues his streak, 14 points, 7 assists. I shouldn't say streak, continues his hot play. 14 points and 7 assists. And when I say hot play, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's scoring all these crazy points, because that's not the only way you affect the game. All right, and people think that, and they're wrong. They're wrong. So, anyway, I'm liking what he's done. I'm liking the role he's taken. I like the way he's adapted to it, and it's great. You know, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm okay with him being our point guard. I never thought I'd say that. Never thought I'd say that. So, but you know what? For me, this is development. This is what happens when you draft and develop. Develop people. Let them grow. Remember, Kobe White was a freshman. Kobe White came out after his freshman year. Okay, he came out after his freshman year, so you got to give him time to. The kid's 19 years old, 20 years old. Like, you can't expect him to be ready and to be fully developed at 19 years old. Like, one of the things that I love about Kobe is his work ethic. And you heard Darnell Mayberry. We had him on 2 weeks ago. And he talked about, man, his work ethic is through the roof. And all this, the whole while, the Bulls are trying to trade him. The Bulls are trying to trade him, and this is what he was doing. The whole while. Just working. Say, hey, you know what? I can't control what you guys are going to do, so I'm just going to go work. I love it. I love it. So when did they play again? Today? Yeah, so tonight the Bulls are in the ATL. All right, that game's at 6:30 p.m. You can catch that on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can listen to it on their flagship 670 AM. See the next top of the morning topic. Man, this was it. We were all fired up about this one yesterday. Oh, all right. We're fired up about this yesterday. Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl. Look at this. Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in overtime. Yeah, it was what a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. You know, I really can't. It was a great game. And believe me, I wanted the San Francisco 49ers to win. I just wanted a good game. That's what I needed. That's what I was most concerned with. All right, Patrick Mahomes, 34-46 for 333 yards, 2 tutties, a pick. He also had 9 carries for 66 yards, and that was huge at the end of the game. He was named the Super Bowl MVP. Travis Kelce, 9 catches for 93 yards. Mecole Hardman with the game-winning touchdown. He had 3 catches for 57 yards. I asked for a good game, and I got a great game. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, for me, as much as I love my Bears, as much as I love football. Like it doesn't, I don't get crazy anymore like I used to. Like there's so many other things in my life that are important. For some people, they don't have important things in their lives. But I wanted a good game. Hold on. You know what? We got to take a quick break. There was an issue. Give me about a minute, and I'll be back right after this. My apologies. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. A passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive.
Caruso into the paint with the jumper.
Nice move by EC. Try to be slick. We got you, content creator.
Here is Vucevic. He knocks it down. Kobe uses the Vucevic screen. Good two-man game. Inside pass, big to Drummond. Clears him out. Vucevic, the footwork.
See, this is the Vucevic that I like.
He's guarding DeRozan. Vucevic the screen and the roll and the fire to the corner again. Dosunmu.
Oh, give me the hot sauce. I'll go straight.
Corner was hassled. Kobe White with the defense. Craig got the steal. Found Kobe for a three. Tap back out. Kobe, DeRozan, 40 seconds left down 5. DeMar to the top. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of MEC Sports Chicago. I apologize. We had this little quick something. I had to. Where were we? I lost my train of thought. I had to make sure she got in the car right, and our normal driver, lady who picks her up every day, was sick today. Yeah. So we got a new one. So it was just nuts. So crazy Monday. We got it. We got it worked out.
Yeah, yesterday's game was great. I loved it. I was really excited about it. I wanted the Niners to win, but the big scheme of things, there's other things that are more important. All right. I'm also worried about my team, which is the Bears. I'm worried about what it means moving forward. All right. I just do. I do. I just wonder. And it's funny again. People get so mad. Like we can agree to disagree, and people get mad and then start calling you names, and they lose friendships. And it's like one guy said, I respect you and everything, but I'm starting to not like you because of. I'm like, I don't give a shit if you like me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit if you like me. I am not going to lose sleep if you unfollow me because we disagree on something. That's extremely childish. Extremely childish. I don't know. It's but it did bring a lot of questions to hand for me. Okay, what do you? And I want your opinion. We're going to talk at the top of the hour. We're going to talk to Brandon Hyatt from Chicago Sports Podcast. But I want to talk about to you guys. So people are talking about, well, Brock Purdy had a great team, which he does. Maybe a more talented team. Okay. So according to Twitter, some jamokes on Twitter, we're saying, well, okay, forget building a team, get the quarterback. Now, many people feel that. Okay. Because of the game yesterday. Now, had Brock Purdy won, then the narrative would have changed for some people. Well, okay, now if you have a good squad, cool. My question is this. Here's people, again, as long as it fits their narrative, people will use it. So let's use their narrative against them. So here's my thought. Here's one thing. People were talking about, well, it's give me the quarterback, give me the quarterback, give me the quarterback. Okay. People act as if, now let's not act as if Patrick Mahomes came to a shit team. Let's like act as if Patrick Mahomes doesn't have weapons, didn't come to a team with weapons. Let's not act as if Patrick Mahomes didn't come to a phenomenal offensive-minded head coach / play caller in Andy Reid. Let's not act like that. Let's also not act like Patrick Mahomes didn't have a year to sit and develop. Before Mahomes was named a starter, this was the record of Kansas City under Andy Reid. These were the records. They were 11-5. Remember, they're still playing 16 games back then. 11-5, 9-7, 11-5, 12-4, 10-6. So you're not asking a quarterback to come and save the day. You're not asking that. They were already good. This is according to Ill Will at 79 Ill Will. Ill Will on Twitter. Go check it out. They added Mahomes to a good team, and then the dynasty began. Coaching matters. Where have you seen that before? Coaching matters. But roster construction matters also. Even great quarterbacks, according to Ill Will, need it. And I agree with them. So again, my thought is this. Hey, have a good day, Shorty. My thought is this. People are saying let's go get the quarterback. Let's go get Caleb. Let's go get Caleb. So you're expecting Caleb. And again, I don't have any ill will toward Caleb at all. That's one of my best friends, former players. My best friend coached him in high school, was a head coach in high school. But you're asking me, you want me to believe that this kid, Caleb, You just switch out Justin Fields for Caleb, and all the problems go away. You expect Caleb to carry this franchise on his back. You expect him to carry this franchise on his back when he couldn't do it. He couldn't carry USC's on his back against Notre Dame. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it against Washington. He couldn't do it against Oregon. And he couldn't do it against UCLA. See, and here's someone else. It can't make QB wins and losses a quarterback stat. It's not. I've never said it was a quarterback stat. Never said it was a quarterback stat. Never said it was a quarterback stat. Looks like I may have lost another follower. Oh, well, I guess I'll sleep well tonight. So people are like, it's not a quarterback stat. You can't put it on there. Exactly, which proves my point. You must require a team. So then when everyone also says, and I can't wait to get back to this post. So when everyone says, I haven't seen everything from Justin, how do you expect Justin to develop when his defense is giving up 33 points a game? Answer that question for me. How do you expect Justin to develop when you're throwing to Smith, Emir Marset, Brandon Pettit, EQ St. Brown? How do you expect him to do that? See, and Chris, thanks for tuning in, Papa. You're saying Mahomes didn't do it in college. That's beat ranked schools. Correct. So yes, with Caleb and talent, I believe in him and to relieve the quarterback position. Poles will do the rest with the roster. So you're willing to project what he can do when he hasn't thrown an NFL pass yet. You're projecting what Caleb can do because of what he's done in college. But we got a guy here who you've seen make throws. You've got a guy here who you've seen make every throw possible. Every throw possible. Touchdowns, fades, deep seams, rolling left, throwing across his body, stepping up in the pocket. Done this, just not consistently. But you want to project what a college kid can do at a level he hasn't been at, but you're not willing to project what a professional can do who's made phenomenal throws with a new coaching staff. Now with a new coaching staff that has proven they have gotten the best out of quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, Geno Smith. So you're willing to say Caleb can do this, Caleb can do this, Caleb can do this, but he hasn't thrown a pass yet. But now you don't want to project what Justin can do with these new people? Can't have it both ways. So now, kid, I mean, you can't even say that. Mahomes said it with Braggs. Question about Kid, it will project the NFL. Okay, but so he's supposed to say, yeah, now he's gonna suck. He's gonna suck. Like it doesn't work that way. Cornelius, I was just gonna go there. And Chris, I'm not attacking you. We're talking back and forth. So like guys, like we're men here. Right, and we talk. Sometimes we get a little loud. Sometimes we get a little aggressive. Please, and I'm not talking to you specifically, Chris. I'm talking to everybody. Like, don't get butthurt. All right, you come at me. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll be fine. After years of therapy, I'll be good. All right, because someone disagrees with my opinion, that's fine. I'll set up a therapy appointment now. But what do you expect Caleb to say? Oh no, he's not going to be. He's going to suck. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. Of course, he's being respectful of his talent. And again, I'm not saying Caleb's not going to be good. I'm not saying that at all. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this, is that when people, to fit their agenda, what people will say, they're willing to project what Caleb will do, but they won't project what Justin can do. If Justin's already doing it, if Justin's already hitting people for throws, if Justin's already hitting people in the deep seam, if Justin's already, you've seen the deep balls, the fades to DJ Moore, fades to others, to Darnell Mooney, fades to, well, Velus Jones had on the seam and he literally hit him in the hands and dropped it. Robert Tonyan hit him a crossing route, dropped it. EQ St. Brown last year in the middle for the Miami game, dropped it. But he's doing exactly this. And so you don't think, well, now with a better staff, with guys with a proven track record, that Justin will be better? I don't know. You know? And people, Walls of Jericho, unbelievable. I was just about to say, great minds think alike. Because Mahomes had success with that style in college and in the pros, doesn't mean Caleb will. And again, I have to say this because everyone thinks I hate Caleb. I don't. All I'm saying is, if you want to be realistic, you can't say, well, because he plays like he's Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't mean he's going to have success like Mahomes. It doesn't mean he's going to be successful, period. There's a lot of different things. Now, I think if he comes here, if they get rid of Justin, I think Caleb will be successful because look at the coaching staff he has. He's got Waldron, he's got Kerry Joseph, he's got Mr. Brown as a passing game coordinator. He's got pieces in place. Isn't providing the success as a passer that's consistent. I agreed with that. But when you have to here follow me here though. Who's he throwing to? So what are you saying is consistent? Do you want to look at? Do you want to start with his first year when he gets thrown to the fire? He was supposed to sit for a year. Remember, he was supposed to sit for a year behind Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, and then that project went south fast. 4 games in, and then he gets thrown to the Lions. 9 sacks his first game. 4.5 by Myles Garrett himself. And there he's throwing to Dante Pettis. My man, no, N'Keal Harry was the next year. Dante Pettis. Who else was on that squad? His first Robinson. He had some nice throws to him. But then second year, do you want him to improve his second year when his defense is giving up 33 points? Do you want him to improve second year when the offensive line is still the Swiss cheese offensive line? Do you want him to improve his second year when he's still throwing to Amir Marset, N'Keal Harry, Dante Pettis, EQ St. Brown? These are his receivers. So your defense is giving up 33 points a game. It's giving up 33 points a game, and you want Justin to come back with these receivers, with an offensive line that was porous. Like, come on now. Let's be realistic. And you can call them excuses if you want, but these are valid reasons. Because if let me ask you a question. If Patrick Mahomes goes down, do you think Kansas City wins yesterday? Say Patrick Mahomes got hurt in the first quarter. Do you think Kansas City wins yesterday? I think we all know the answer is most likely not. But you can say, but it doesn't matter. He's a professional. He's this. He's got it. It does matter. It does matter. Those players. Komet did not have a great year. He had a good year. I think we're okay. But he's only in year 3. He hasn't gone from 3 to 4 yet. This is his 4th year coming up. See what I mean? Like, Moore had a great year. Yes. Komet had a good year. And there's just different pieces. And the biggest piece that they're missing is someone to call the plays, is someone to maximize his potential. You don't think Andy Reid maximizes Mahomes' potential? Come on now. I think you and I both know the answer to that. But he also had him for a year to sit and watch, get him in garbage time, and say, okay, let me see what he can do. Chris, I just disagree with you. I just disagree with you on that because I think Justin, I've seen enough from Justin, from my trained eye, that you get him some coaching, he can be consistent. He can be consistent, and I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow some other people's minds. He'll be a top 10 quarterback. Get him consistent coaching. That's all we need. Don't worry about the receivers. Do not worry about them. Because if you get consistent coaching from the play caller, that's going to filter down to the wide receiver coach, to the running back coach, to the offensive line, to everybody. And guess what? Those no-name receivers are going to get open somehow. Black Diamond, you got to stop, dog. Because I just looked, it's the top of it. It looks like it's someone throwing up. It looks like, bleh. You know, that emoji. And I'm like, why the hell are you selling top of the throw up? Good morning, Papa. Good morning. Oh, man. Well, my first guest, we're not even going to go to break because that's how crazy we are. I just talked to the bosses and they said, you don't have to go to commercial. We'll go to commercial at the bottom of the hour, though. That's for sure. We got to do that. Our first guest is a good friend of the program. He's from the Chicago Sports Podcast. Right. You can find him on Twitter at Shy Sports Tracks. Is the way it sounds. TRACKS. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Brandon Hyatt. Brandon, what up, Papa? How are you?
What's up, buddy? Thanks for welcoming me to the building.
How we doing?
Good, man. I like that background you got there. That's nice.
Yeah, some guy made it for me. Steve something or other made it for me. I was telling him this morning, like, dude, I freaking love this background, dude. I love it. I was like, just make more. Just make more. Yeah,
he's so good, ain't
he? Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, he was stroking his ego because he's in the background looking for like on. Well, you know what? He can. He does great work.
Yeah.
But enough about Steve. Talk about the game yesterday. Let's talk about the game and the ramifications. We got you for the majority of this hour. So let's start with that. 25-22 overtime. I said I'm a big Niner fan. Ever since the 80s with Joe Montana and my man Roger Craig and Rice and Clark and with the catch against Dallas, that whole thing. Keena Turner, Ronnie Lott, we can go. The fact that they used to hang out with Huey Lewis in the News, because back in the day, that's what I loved them. I love Huey Lewis in the News as well. It's just crazy. But I digress. I wasn't putting any money against Patrick Mahomes. The kid is just unbelievable. Or the young man is unbelievable. He's 28 years, 3 Super Bowl titles, 2 MVPs, a back-to-back, first time in 20 years since the Patriots did it. Give me your thoughts on the game.
It started out. I was talking to Pat the designer. We were doing a show up at Worst Stadium Club for the entire length of the Super Bowl, and I was talking to him, and he was talking about with J-Mac. They were going back and forth about the game and whatnot, and the defense and how good the defenses were, and that I think he said 17-14 was his prediction, and he wasn't that far off. Actually, I thought that would be a very low-scoring game for a Super Bowl, because on the opposite end of it, these two teams have the ability to put up a lot of points, and that's kind of what I was hoping for. I don't know if that's what you were hoping for, but most people like to see a lot of points. I like to see defense. I'm I play both sides, I like to see good defense, but I also want to see a lot of offense, it's a lot of points, back and forth, whatever. So, but I do know that in the second half, the Niners turned it on, and the Lions not so much. So, you look at that and whatnot, and I was like, okay, yeah, we got a game. They started off exactly the way Pat said they would. They were going to find their run game. Trent got a couple holding calls that started off a little rough with those holding calls, and I would have never thought, that would come from him. You know what I mean?
And he got blown up one play too by their big DT. I just blanked on his name. That big DT threw his ass in the backfield. I was like, whoa, Pennell, I think it is. I was like, whoa. I was like, was that Williams?
That dude's massive. Dude. The Niners better than I do. So when I was looking at him, I was like, I don't know if I potentially have seen him before or whatever, but like there was another guy that was massive too. And I was like, these are some big fellows on this team,
Man. But for Pennell to do that to Eric Williams, Trent Williams. Eric Williams was with the Cowboys. Trent Williams. I was like, damn, these boys can play.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other side of the ball, you're looking at their number one weapon that really didn't get utilized a whole lot, Kelsey. And that was interesting. I thought he would have been used a lot more. I mean, he did in the second half, but in the first half, there really wasn't much of that. You know what I mean? So it was interesting. I honestly, I got a few things right in that Super Bowl. There's a whole lot that I was unexpected, and that's kind of what Pat was saying too. He said a lot of times you see these teams play in the Super Bowl, and they completely play entirely different league characteristic to what they're used to playing. You can pretty much set a watch by the way these teams play. They always flip the script. A lot of them flip the script in the Super Bowl, and I kind of could see that, in a way. So, I mean, I don't know if you saw that, but it was a good game, man. It kept me all the way up to the end, man. I was pretty excited, I'm not going to lie.
It was. Chris Gonzalez says, Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator for San Francisco 49ers, deserves a lot of credit for that game plan for the D. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. They had Mahomes flustered. They had him flustered, and it was and luckily the reason that I believe they came out of it was just because of their experience. Yes. This is their 6th straight AFC title game. This is their 3rd Super Bowl. They're back-to-back, 2nd in a row. They have experience. And I think that with them, what they understand, like if you've ever played on a good team, you'll know it too. Like you might be losing and you're like, oh, don't worry guys, we'll get it. We'll get it. Not saying it's going to happen automatically. No, you got to put the work in, but you understand that there's 4 quarters. And it's all you need is literally one play, whether it be a penalty, all right, whether it be a blown coverage by the defense that's been playing so well, and all of a sudden Uncle Mo is on your side. And I think he plays with the calmness, and I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. He played with the calmness. Yeah, he was frustrated. Wilkes was getting it to him, boy. He got sacked a couple times. He got hit a couple times. He got hurried a couple times. He got moved off the spot a couple times. Pass deflection or two. You saw that. But I still don't think he was flustered. I know he was annoyed, but I think in the big scheme of things, he was just like, okay, we just got to find it. We just got to get that one play. Whether it be us, whether it be our defense get a turnover, whether it be a special teams play, we just need that one play. And that's what great guys do. And they did. They got it, and they got it.
Yeah. Yep. And to get down to the end where, it's a field goal, I can't take anything away from Brock. I think he hung in there. It was a title bout, I mean, you're talking going up basically against Tyson, you know what I mean? And he went, round for round all the way up to the very end. There's some of your losses are wins, you know what I mean? You don't win it, but it's a lot for Brock to do that. And honestly, for me, the game would be entirely different if if CMC didn't have that fumble.
Early on?
Yeah, early on. Big change of events if he would have not had that fumble and coughed it up. That was huge,
Why do you say that? Because they didn't score off it. I'm talking KC, or just the momentum that it could have caused getting an early 3 or 7.
Yeah, I mean, so remember how everybody made the field goal a big deal about how Detroit Lions, if they would have kicked the field goal. Now we're talking about something that wasn't a field goal, but they were still had momentum going down the field. CMC was doing good. They were clicking. Everything was going good. And now all of a sudden, your best offensive player other than Debo coughs it up. You know what I mean? And that was huge.
Yeah, San Francisco did a lot to shoot themselves in the foot. That situation, the CMC, the penalty, the missed extra point, the botch punt when it hit the leg of the blocker. Okay,
Yes.
and then so all these things, which is why it's important again, and it kind of ties into Devin Hester's the special teams, how important special teams is.
Yeah,
and it's without those things, all you had to do if you made the extra point, it's a different game. In the fourth quarter, you make the extra point, but it doesn't get blocked. But that was when they showed the replay, it was low. I'm like, why is the trajectory so low? Like now is not the time to fuck around with different styles or trajectories. Like you just need to kick it as high as you can because you can get it to 25, 30 yards. That's nothing. Why?
John, I got a question for you. Help me catch up to speed, because whatever happened to our buddy Gold over there? Why is he not? Did he retire?
I think he retired, or they cut him.
Did he want too much money, or did he retire? It's retired sounds more like it. But I mean, honestly, in a game like that would be my guy kicking the balls. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. well, Chris, I agree. It is a great time to be a Bears fan. We do have money in free agency, 2 picks in the 10, and 3. It is a great time. It is a great time to be a Bears fan.
Did they decide if they were going to unload those 2 players in order to get more draft capital, or I mean,
no, that's not going to happen until after. The earliest it would happen would be right after the combine at the end of the month, because you know what, Ryan Pohl is going to walk into. You're talking about Eddie Jackson and right here.
Yeah, because March is free agency, so I figure maybe unload and then go attack free agency.
I think March 1st is the official first day of the new year. So I think everything is going to happen after that, because technically they're still part of the team right now. I mean, I guess you could cut them, but I'm not sure. That hasn't happened yet, to answer your question.
So is that the money that you're playing with right now that you're throwing up, or is that extra?
No, that's extra. That's extra. That'll give us another 25 million. 20, because so that's extra.
But what would you do if Eddie said, "I want to come, with a hometown discount, type thing.
Bring him back.
Let's work this out. I want to really. I see what the team's doing. I like where we're going. I want to be the veteran on the team, the voice. That type of thing. Would you bring him back or no?
I would, but it would have to be at a decent salary, 6 to 8 million.
Yeah.
All right. And then have it incentive laden.
Yeah.
Okay, so but let him know. Say, hey, listen, we're going to draft a young safety, okay, to replace you because you can't play forever. No one plays forever.
Right.
All time is undefeated. So we're not gonna be stuck. Plus, what if you get hurt? You're older. You're this. And it's the NFL. Anyone can get hurt. So I would definitely bring him back if that's the issue. Okay, we'll rip up this last year. We'll cut you and we'll re-sign you. But just know we're drafting your replacement, and next year, maybe 2 years, maybe the kid gets hurt, maybe something else, and we need you again. Let him know, And to me, Ryan Poles he's been honest with us up front with the media. Okay, I would assume he's been honest with his players. Remember, he talked about when they asked about Justin. Remember last year with the number 1 pick, he's like, "Oh yeah, we've had conversations with Justin." So I would. Because of that, I could only go off of Ryan Poles being a stand-up guy and say, here's our plan.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. And I would definitely bring him back. And I think that would be great. There's a couple of good safeties. My guy, Nomad, he's a pretty good. Well, he showed me these 2 guys. I haven't, he said he loves doing that. He loves scouting. He loves all this stuff. He said he had an opportunity to be a coach and get on the road. He said, but that lifestyle. And I'm like, no, I get it. So he talked real quick. Dominique Hampton out of the University of Washington. All right, 6'3", 210 is a thumper. Okay. But it's got phenomenal feet. I think he might have played corner before. All right, but he's very opportunistic. And then Tyler Newman. I'm trying to reach out to his people He's from the area. He went to St. Charles North. That's where my cousin's 2 boys went to high school. So
Oh, wow.
I know he actually played with one of them, because they're right in the same age group. So, and he's 6'2", 210. He's from University of Minnesota, and I like the way that they. I mean, hell, who's our guy from Minnesota now?
That's a safety.
Didn't we have Terrell Smith? No, Terrell, the cornerback we got from Minnesota.
Terrell, yeah.
Yes, we got him. Minnesota does a really good job with DBs. With PJ Fleck from Northern, the head coach up there now, they do a good job with DBs. Those are just 2 guys that he saw, and I went and watched some of their tape, their highlight tape, of course. I mean, of course, it's all going to be good, but I liked it. I'm like, okay, and I could see one of those guys potentially, taking over for Eddie or coming in studying under Eddie for a year.
Yeah.
And the thing that they do that Eddie doesn't, they like to hit. They like to hit, Brandon. They love to hit. I was like, that's the one thing that stood out to me that was apparent on the tape, on the film. These jokers like to hit.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Might have another Major back there in the field, in the backfield, right? Major.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Hit hard. What about so I can't remember if it was Maya or my buddy Eric was telling me about the safety from Iowa, the Hawkeyes. There's supposed to be a good safety in the draft.
It was probably Maya. She's a Hawkeye. She's a Hawkeye, so she's definitely knows a little more about keeps an eye on her program.
But I tell you what, they got a top-notch defense, ain't it? I thought, was it like number 1 or number 2 in the nation? I mean, they didn't do good about anything else that they were doing this year was trash. Like the offense was like dead last or something, but their defense is always ridiculous. So at least that much. You know what I mean? If you got somebody coming from there, should be pretty good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, guys, we're joined by Brandon Hyatt. Trax is his nickname. He's the founder of the Chicago Sports Podcast, and we're talking Bears football here on in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago and Super Bowl. We're talking. We'll put the Super Bowl logo up for now. We'll put the Bears one up later. Talk to me about this. Are you okay with the defensive line? Where do you want the Bears to address the defensive line situation, or are you okay with it?
So it's interesting that you say that, because I've been talking to I've been talking to a lot of Mongo's friends, 85 Bears, whatever. It all starts on the defensive line, right? Interior, work your way out. Inside, work your way out. Say you agree the same way, right, Shawn? And
of course.
So a lot of people were talking three technique, and then I had Tommy yesterday. I'm interviewing Tommy. And
Tommy Harris, you mean, I presume?
Yeah, Tommy Harris. Tommy Harris is telling me we already got somebody there in place, and
Javon?
He's good, huh?
Is he a Javon fan?
Yeah, he's good with it. I'm like, okay, well, apparently the guy who played that position before he pulled his whole leg apart, crazy, injury.
Yeah.
He was on pace for, 3-time Pro Bowler. He was the best thing since we had from Mongo, right? And he's telling me that he's good with what we got. I'm like, okay. So, he was talking about another edge possibly, safety, blah, blah, blah. But,
people are going to be surprised this year, Brandon.
Yeah.
And I saw it last year, the performance of Javon Dexter and how he started gaining more and more confidence. And that was one of the questions I asked him one of the last games of the year. I'm like, where are you with confidence right now? I said, there was a lot of question marks. There were a lot of question marks surrounding you when you're coming out of the draft. You're a one technique guy. They want you to 2-gap, excuse me. They want you just to kind of not penetrate a lot of things. And you had to do something different. Your sack numbers weren't huge at Florida. All these things, but it was literally because of the scheme he was in. And as the season went on, man, this dude started becoming more and more of a problem. This dude started becoming more and more of a penetrator. This dude started becoming more and more just a pain in the ass for offensive linemen because he's extremely, extremely strong. He's country strong. Strong.
You're a college guy, right? So is he the one that came from Florida that was like read and react, and now he's like,
penetrate.
More penetrate. Yeah. So it's totally changed the whole trajectory of the way the guy plays just by off scheme and philosophy of what he's doing. Plus, now he also has an edge in that we brought in with Sweat, which makes him the ability to do what he does instead of be the guy for everything. Because potentially before that, he really wasn't able to be, it's a lot to take on when you're coming in, right, Shawn? You need that veteran guy that takes some of that pressure off you. And I think it's working out well. And if you get a guy like Dust, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm getting excited here talking about Hunter. If we get Hunter, bananas, because you could put a guy, heck, you could go back there, Shawn, and get a couple pass deflections as a defensive back if you got a guy like Hunter and freaking what do you call it, Sweat over there, you know what I mean?
Well, one of the things that I like,
I'm getting excited about the way our defensive line's starting to shape out, Shawn. And with Tommy, giving his blessing to that guy, that to me, that's a lot,
Well, let's not forget that he didn't have Sweat most of the year, but who he did have was Billings. And then once Sweat came, so he's sandwiched on, pause. But he on either side of him, you got Sweat on his left side, and you got Billings on his right side. So now, who are you going to double team? Are you going to double team Sweat? You're going to double team Billings, or you're going to double team Javon Dexter Sr.? Yeah, I'm probably going to leave Javon Dexter alone because Billings has been a big problem collapsing the pocket from the middle. I got a Pro Bowler in Sweat on this side. I'm going to have to double team him. I can't keep leaving him one-on-one, or at least I get to chip him. So which makes Javon Dexter's job much easier because he's going to be singled up a lot more because you have two guys on either side of him who each deserve and can demand a double team. You just don't have enough offensive linemen to double team. So I think he's in a great position. And then if you do get an edge, a nice edge, if we get a Danielle Hunter, and I've been talking about him since during the season when they were talking about potential free agents. I'm like, get him. And the reason I want him, and I know he'll be 29 or maybe 30 by the start of the next season. I don't care. 30, 31, 32. Give him a 3-year deal. But he plays the run very, very, very well. Very well. So now you got two defensive ends who rush the passer like gangbusters, but also play the run well. Man, that's kind of like unicorns, dude. And now those two bookends would be really, really nice in my opinion, B.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk to me, give me your thoughts. The 800-pound gorilla in the room, and everyone's talking about Justin and Caleb and this and that. And you being the general manager, what would you do? What would you do with this number one pick? Oh, cool. We got one question from JJ. Another question from Chris. My question is, would you pay JJ top money off his 1-year production and shoulder injury history? Don't get me wrong, I love the season he had, but it was just one season he played elite. So you're trying to lead the witness?
He's leading the witness with the shoulder. He's telling us about that shoulder.
Top money? No.
That's a good point with that shoulder,
top money? No. But top 5, top 10 money? Yes. Top 10, definitely. I say 7 or 6 because I'm not just going to pay you because you had 1 year. All right. I'm not going to pay you because you had one good year. I know it's contract year and that helps in negotiations, but I'm saying, well, what happened the other time? All right. And his answer could be Montez Sweat.
Exactly. Yes.
So I'd offer him, I'd say top 5, 7 money. All right, because if you watch some of the things I asked him in the post game one time, it's funny. I wonder if they know what I'm a coach or something because the questions I ask. But I said, "Did you bait him?" I said, "Did you bait? Was it him or Tyreek?" No, it was him. I asked Jalen. I said, "Did you bait that quarterback?" I'm like, "Because you stayed in the flat." I said, "But your hips were perpendicular to the line of scrimmage." I said, "So it was easy for you to get back." I said, "So it made it look like," and he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I watched some no, it was Tyreek Stevenson." He said, "Yeah, I watched some Jalen Johnson film." But I also asked Jalen that as well. And he's like, "No." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, I basically said he baited him. His technique in the cover 2 is great. And now that Tyreek Stevenson is adopting that same technique, these cornerbacks are going to be good. And I I hope they can come to an agreement, Chris. I would love that. I would love to have Jalen Johnson here for another 3 years, 4 years. I really would. Okay, but if they don't, I'm okay with Terrell, the kid from it's not Terrell Smith, it's Terrell. It is Terrell Smith, the kid from Minnesota, the other cornerback. I'm okay with that.
Stevenson and
Okay
Gordon. Yep.
Yes. But I do want I would pay him, but not top money, Chris. That shoulder injury. Remember he missed the end of the game, Green Bay game, because he was out with the shoulder injury. I don't know if you guys saw the play. I forgot who he tackled, but he went right off the sideline. It was like at the 20-yard line. You know, you can't go past like the 35, like the team. So he just went right off the sideline, tapped his helmet. Somebody else came in, and his shoulder and he was out. The last game of the year, the game before. But yeah, so his shoulder's injury still is going to be used against him in negotiations. But I get him money. I don't think you franchise tag him, because then that's a lot of money under the cap for one guy. So I mean, if you franchise him and then work it out, cool. But no, he gets paid, but just not top dollar. Not number one. Don't reset the market. No. Mm-mm.
Maybe incentive lane, because even in college, I think the reason why we got him, like, wasn't it a second round, Shawn, is because of that shoulder injury. If he didn't already have that coming out of college into the pros, like was saying earlier with that shoulder, that he potentially would have went ahead and went first round. So maybe lay incentive in there. And I think he's going to tell us to kick rocks and go somewhere else, which with me, with the way Stevenson has came on, and Kyler Gordon, and now we've got a pass rusher, potentially 2 pass rushers, the way our defensive line, I mean, we might miss a little bit, but we actually might end up playing as a unit, as a defense. We might end up playing better. And also, I mean, this gives a lot of guys some time and development and some incentive. Like Kyler Gordon, he's getting ready to come up too on a contract. So, and he's been doing good. He hasn't missed any plays off. They asked him to play nickel. They asked him to play outside, which is what he's comfortable with from Washington. He's a great kid, So
he's a slot, and he's got. I mean, they threw the whole book at Kyler Gordon.
Yeah,
they asked him to play outside, then they asked him to play the slot, and the slot's tough, man. The slot's tough because you can't reroute. It's difficult to reroute people because you got a 2-way go coming off the line, especially if your guy's in motion and it's man, or someone comes into your zone and it's man. Motion's your side, it's man. It's tough, and he finally got acclimated to it, and I think he's one of the better slot corners in the league. So our secondary is good, man. Real good, and he's not afraid to bring the wood, man. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there, and I love it. So, I hope that we keep Jalen.
Me
but
too.
Again, I'm okay with it with Terrell Smith because of Sweat, and God forbid we get a Danielle Hunter or another free agent edge, or and then you know what I mean. Like you're giving Terrell Smith, you're giving him a head start. All right, you're giving him a head start because now you're giving him an advantage because of the fact that we're getting the quarterback a lot quicker, and he's not going to have to cover as hard, as long, and he's going to be able to make plays. He's going to be able to get some PBUs. He's going to get some picks. He's going to have to be aggressive now. Like, hey, these guys are coming. I have to be aware when the ball's in the air sooner than it should be, or later than it should be, because the quarterback had to get off a spot. So it's just going to be an adjustment period for him, but I think he'll get used to it, man. I really do. But I mean, let me ask you, because some people it's Team Caleb, Team Justin. What do you want him to do with the first pick? And I won't give you examples. What happens if you keep Justin? You know what happens if you go for Caleb? You're the GM. What do you want to do with this team moving forward?
First off, I have to focus on my team, right? But I do want to say, I wish the best for both individuals, both kids. Justin has my heart. I'm an offensive lineman, and so I always have my quarterback's back. So I'm obviously biased big time there. But I also am a USC fan, so I do like Caleb. So, but I am I'm Team Justin. I'm actually Team Bears, but I'm also Team Justin. So I think, you go with Justin, and there's more reasons to that. I'd like to add, Shawn. I really think it's important we have many holes, and I really think we could set ourselves up for the future for the next foreseeable at least 2-3 years of first, second round draft picks, especially in the sense that we would be trading with people that need a quarterback that would want to trade up. And we know, as history shown in the first couple years, with the exception, there is exceptions of a guy down in Houston that ruins this whole discussion. But with the exception of that unicorn, they usually do terrible, have really low records for the first couple years. So we could potentially, Shawn, see ourselves in a top 5, top 10 draft pick for the next 2-3 years. I think it's important for us to get some more draft capital trade. This is what I would like to see. I can't remember if it was the Eagles or the Dolphins, but they traded back once in the draft. I'd like to see us trade from the first to the second pick. And then once we get that, then what I would like to do is take that pick, and I'd like to get the third pick, go from the second to the third, and go with the Patriots and trade with them. So, you're basically going from the first to the second, and then from the second to the third, force multiplying. We got about 10 or 15 picks out of one pick from last year, baby, plus DJ Moore. You know what I mean? To me, that's smart. And you know what? When you're talking about money, okay, Shawn, we know we've got the bags. We know we got the cash, right? But at some point, we're going to have to start re-signing these superstars. We're going to have to start keeping our guys. We're going to have to, like you said, go out and get a hunter, go get somebody, whatever. What if an injury, God forbid, happens, knock on wood, if something like that happens, Shawn. Now you got the NFL. Yes, this is the NFL. Not for long. At some point, it's going to happen, and you're going to have to go out and get a guy to replace a guy, whether it be temporary or permanently. You got to have that cash, and the only way to do that is building your team through the draft. Who said that they did that? Who said that they wanted to do that?
Mr. Poles himself.
Mr. Poles himself. So I'm kind of like piggybacking off of what I think Ryan would do, but honest to God, if I stood with you, Maya, and Poles, and we were at a poker table, I'd lose my ass. I wouldn't even have a hat to go home with, because I think you guys are pretty good poker players. Ryan, especially, dude, I can't figure out what for life of me what's going to happen. You know what I mean? That's what I would do, though.
It's interesting, and you must be listening to my show because that's exactly what I say. And
I do listen to your show.
Oh.
That's probably where I got it from.
But I agree with you, dude, and that's just because the more picks you get, and I'm not just an advocate of getting draft capital, have draft capital, like, oh, we got so many picks, haha.
Yeah.
Look at what Ryan Poles has done with the picks. That's what's gotten me excited.
Yes.
That's what has me really, really, really fired up. Okay. The only person who's literally a question mark, and that could be changed this year with this new offensive coordinator, is Velus Jones. But everyone else, his first two picks were the two DBs, Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker. People remember, a lot of people were like, why are you getting the secondary the first thing? And even I was like, man, dude, really? You didn't want to? And he was like, let me cook. I was like, all right, cool. Then he goes and gets Darnell Wright. He gets Javon Dexter. He gets Zach Pickens. And now at the end of the year, the last 4 or 5 games, you start to see everybody start to develop. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, okay. How about I just sit my happy ass back and let you cook, Papa? Because it looks like and so and for me, that's the best way to build a team. And especially here, like I always like to say, he showed his ass already. So whenever he trades, he's getting a player. Yeah. He's getting another DJ Moore quality player, not necessarily a wide receiver, but it could be Daron Payne, the 3 tech from Washington. Okay. It could be Jonathan Allen from Washington. It could be, if he trades back with them, it could be one of those guys. So now you add that into the mix. Yeah. You add Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, Daron Payne, Billings, Pickens. Who's the other guy? The other guy that they just signed this year, DeMarcus Walker. All right, you still got Dominique Robinson. Like, all of a sudden, our D line is that now we got waves, which is exactly what you want. You want waves of D line. You want 2 deep of D linemen when everyone's healthy. Like, that second team feels they're as good as the first team, and when they get out there, they show it. And that's what,
Robinson still might come into his own because potentially, look at it, Shawn. Who did he have to learn to cook from? Who did he have to learn to play the edge? Now he's got people that he's learning like technique, so he might actually develop into what they thought he potentially could prior to having them. Yeah,
phenomenal point.
And now you've got another guy, an ace card that he might turn into something, and you got to have that guy that just turn it in third. Let me get a breather. You know what I'm saying, Shawn? And there's no reason why you shouldn't go out and get Payne, even though you already have a formidable, nice, good, base defensive line. You need backups. You got to build in the trenches. I mean, you played behind them. That's where it starts and that's where it ends. I mean, we do have to talk about the real elephant in the room, though. We've been talking a lot about defense and not a whole lot about that offensive line. We got to protect, Justin from mayhem. You know what I mean?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the boss real quick and see if he likes it. All right, he likes it. So let's go to that. Let's go to that spot. We'll go to that side of the ball.
Why do you think? Let me ask you this: he is a offensive lineman by trade. He played in the NFL at a high level. So did Ian Cunningham, his assistant, the first assistant GM in the history of ever that the Bears had, because Poles has the balls to get up right in front of the McCaskies and say, "My ass is on the line. And if you want me to play my position and you want me to lead this team, you let me make the decision. That starts with me getting an assistant GM." That guy's an offensive freaking lineman too. How come we haven't got – I know it's only been 2 years, but please help me, brother. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm biased. I'm an offensive lineman. My offensive line, if I was a GM, is going to be the best offensive line in the history of ever. How come we haven't got it right yet in protecting – Fields from mayhem? You know what I mean? Like, so especially the center position.
Here's the thing.
What's your philosophy?
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
Okay. And what the one thing that he understands is that he doesn't want to overpay in free agency.
Oh.
This is my assessment, because I call Ryan Poles. He hasn't got back to me, but when he gets back to me, I'll let you know that it's from his mouth. He hasn't got back to me yet.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to overpay in free agency. Okay, I think let's not forget, he brings in offensive linemen all the time. Remember, he brought in a shitload his first year, last year, or 2 years ago. He brought a shitload in off the street. Like, hey, let me try and get a hit here, a guy that can last for 2 years, or 1 good year and a subpar year. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
at least a minimum 2 serviceable years, so he can look at the landscape and say, where do we need it? So he brought in tons of linemen. Okay?
Yes.
And then he drafted, or he brings in Nate Davis. Okay, so he hit the free agent market 3 for $30, and that's one of the reasons why he didn't really, why he didn't want to do that. Because now, and it's not that Nate's bad. I think Nate is really good. He's nasty. I like him. He just had the situation with his mom. His mom was ill. All right. Obviously, they knew that. He's not going to hide that from the team, so they knew why he was out. They, they knew the situation, and then so he came back finally after she passed. You got to give him time to mourn. Obviously, there's a human side to it.
Yeah.
But now he drafted Darnell Wright.
Yeah.
He's got Nate Davis.
Yep.
He's got Tevin Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big, and then he's happy with, I think that the left tackle, Braxton Jones, can be an above average left tackle. All right. I think that's his ceiling. That's as high as he can be, is an above average one. I think it'd be an average one easily. I think it'd be a great average left tackle. He signed John Lucas Patrick, hoping he would do the thing. He figured he had Cody Whitehair.
Where would you put Jamarcus in that situation? What would you grade him as? Just so I know where you grade Braxton.
I like him as a swing guard, and I would get funky. And someone like Jamarcus means a Tyree Carter.
No. When we had the left tackle forever. That was from the Saints. Wasn't his name Jamarcus Webb? Was it Webb?
No, I mean the guy who went to the Redskins.
I think so.
Washington.
Yeah. Left tackle. Where did you grade him? Was he above average?
No, average was his ceiling. He was usually like slightly below.
Okay.
Jamarcus Webb. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his he was consistently slightly below average.
And he always showed up though. He always always showed up. And you
did
know
not
what?
miss a game.
We still miss average, right? We still miss average. I mean, but yeah, I like above average. And do you think that's okay for a mobile Justin Fields to have that line side? No, you need better than that.
Oh, I think you need that. And you need a center. So my thing is this: there's a couple of centers. One played in Seattle last year. Is going to be a free agent. I say you sign him, but then you go get one of those 3 kids. There's 3 stud centers. There's a kid out of West Virginia, Frazier, I believe his name is. You got Cedric Van Pran, the kid out of Georgia. Then you got Powers Johnson or JPJ from Oregon. So you got 3 centers. You got 3 really good centers that you can go and get. You got 3 good, one of 3 you can go and get who can take over in 2025 as your starter. And these guys are all big, mean, and nasty. To me, nasty is the part that I like.
You usually get those in like the 2nd or 3rd round, right, Shawn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's an upgrade. And my thought is this is like, I saw Braxton Jones get better from year 1 from 22 to 23.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, he was unable to handle the bull rush. He can handle all the spin moves and the swims and spins and stunts and all this stuff. He was able to handle that. He's got feet like a bear, a dancing bear.
Yeah.
And then when people found out that he couldn't handle the bull rush, well, they're like, well, I'm not going to dance around. I'm going to go through him. So then he worked with Olin a lot, but he also got stronger. But you also have to look like his legs aren't big per se. Like I have big legs. Like you play ball, so you know guys who got big legs.
Yeah.
And strong, and you guys with skinnier legs are strong. Give me the guys with the big legs, the tree trunks who are strong. So
you know what else helps with that too, Shawn? Because I was getting my butt beat from the guy from when I played semi-pro against the Chicago Falcons. This guy came up with like a dark smoked out visor. Big dude, like 6'8". I'm 6'6". He's like 6'8". He's towering over me. He kept bull rushing me. And by the second half, I finally figured it out. I had to hit him before he hit me. So I put him on his heels. So the faster my hands, you got to have faster hands, and you got to hit them before they hit you. When I did that, he had to counter and then come back in. He was still beating me. And at one point, my back was all the way to my quarterback, but he never touched my quarterback's jersey the whole second half. So if you get those fast hands in on a guy like that, even if he towers over you and is big or whatever, on that's all I had, Shawn, was the bull rush. But that's what I did in order to finally counter it second half. I was like, my knees are bloody. I'm like, I'm going to die out here. I got to do something, and I just figured it out on my own. I'm just like, I'm going to hit him faster. And it helped, just a little bit of rocking off of that. And maybe somebody helps him out or he figures it out on his own. But I mean, you can easily figure those kind of stuffs out, Shawn, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully maybe we get a better coach or somebody in there that just, how you have that coach that just gives you something that just turns it on, that makes it click, you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh,
says the right thing or gets in your ear, So who knows? Hopefully that'll fix him. But
so
you think we need to go out and get like a Penei Sewell, a guard? Or are you good with guard?
I'm good with the guard. I want to back up. And Tyree Carter's okay. But one of the things that I was about to ask, and I didn't see him, was Darnell Wright at the last home game.
Oh.
Right? And I was going to ask him because I watched film on him. I'm like, and I realized why he's so good. Well, one, he's nasty and he likes to drive people. But 2, like, he doesn't give up a lot of sacks. And it's exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Is on pass plays, he doesn't kick step. He attacks. So he attacks. His first step is out. So if his first step is out, as a defensive lineman, you're thinking, okay, it's a run. So your takeoff on a run versus your takeoff on a pass play as a defensive lineman are completely different.
Yes.
Completely different.
Good point. I didn't even realize that. That's smart. Yeah.
And so when he did it at Tennessee and he did it here.
Yeah.
He does it here. He fires out. So he fires out, hits, you think it's a run. So defensive guys are like, okay, where's the ball? And all of a sudden now he's backing up. So now you have to restart your engine to get to him, and he's already waiting, and all that is time, which is buying just in time. And I was about to ask him, like, hey, so how long have you been attacking on pass routes? I mean, on pass pro, and then retreating. How long, who taught you that? How long have you been doing it? Because it's very successful. And I didn't see him in the locker room. Like he was one of the guys that I wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
And he was gone. I was like, damn, dude. So I have to wait till training camp or OTAs or something. And I'll get in there and I'll ask him and be like, hey, and it sounds, hey, I peeped it on film, so I liked it. But to get back to the whole thing.
Shawn, not to interrupt, but shout out to you, man, for getting that. I was so proud of you that day when I heard that you got that press. That's so cool for you to get back there behind the scenes and get in there, the locker room, and ask the questions and stuff. No one more deserving. You put in all the hard work, man. And like you said, when you ask questions, it's from a coach's perspective, and they respect that and they appreciate that because their time is valuable. And for you to go in there and ask those questions, I mean, they like that. And I think that you're going to get a lot of good content, man. I'm excited to see what happens out of that, man. So
thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love being in there talking to the guys. Like I said, and my questions are they do come from my years of playing, my years of coaching,
right?
And that's why Justin kind of when I asked him that last question, I was like, don't you have like the one that went viral? Like, don't you have a jumbo package and this, to put in? And he was just like, we do, but we didn't call it. And I'm like, bingo. Like it just made sense. And then the next week, third and short, such and such is reporting eligible. I'm like, that's all I wanted. I was like, I'm like, this is, it's certain things. Like I see things. I've had too many years of football, for me not to see things. But I love the access. I love talking to the players. I love picking their brain. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's man, it's so fun. And I'm, some people are, I don't even want to go there. I love it. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have. And and I should have it again next year and up years to come. So it's going to be really, really, really cool. Yeah. Chris Pena, good morning, Papa. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And guys, just in case you ain't know, guys, I'm my man Brandon Hyatt from Chicago Sports Podcast. We're talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Give me one of those centers. And listen, I can't get mad. What would you do with the 9 pick? Because again, you and I both are on the same thing. And if you think that you should keep the number 1 pick, guys, fine. That's your opinion. That's cool. I respect it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. All right. But I respect it. That's fine.
Yeah.
For me, I like Brandon, I want to fill more holes. Okay. I want to fill more holes. And the reason being is this. Okay. Is people have talked about, especially after yesterday, get the quarterback over. And I try to tell people, like, look, wait a minute. Patrick Mahomes, when he got to Kansas City, this is the record that the Kansas City Chiefs had. This is the before he became a starter. They were 11-5, 9-7, 11-5, 12-4, and 10-6. They were good already.
Yeah.
They were good already. You don't win 11. You don't average, what is that? 10 wins a season for 5 years before he becomes a starter.
Bro, I was talking to Pat about this yesterday. Exactly what you're saying right now. People forget how good Alex Smith was.
Yes.
He wasn't great. He wasn't elite, but he was a very good. And what better fundamental quarterback to learn from, especially the nuances of the KC, the way their scheme is, the way they play. I mean,
he ran that offense efficiently, extremely efficiently.
Yes.
And Patrick Mahomes got to sit back and watch that for a year and be like, okay, now I see what to do. Now I can add my personal touch on what you do.
Yeah.
So they were good to begin with. So you asked me here, roster building's huge. Obviously, hashtag coaching matters. It's huge.
Matters.
Okay. And I still think that you can I think in this situation, like you build people. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be mad with 9. If you went and you got Olu's not gonna be there at 9. But if you went and got Alt, okay, you went and got a stud left tackle, I cannot be mad at you. I want a sexier pick.
Yeah.
But I cannot, I have no bad words to say about that at all. Because anytime you get protection or you upgrade the left tackle position for your stud quarterback, hopefully it should be Justin, but whether it's Caleb, it could be Caleb. You cannot get mad at protection for your quarterback. You can't. You may want something else, but if you know anything about football, yeah, okay, cool. All right. You're right. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you have to say, because there's nothing more important than keeping your guy upright. So if we get Alt at 9, cool. If Olu's there, which I don't think he will be, that's cool. Like, I wouldn't be mad there. Personally, you give me Brock Bowers if he's there. There's a couple of good tight ends coming out this year, but I want the stud tight end. I want Cole Kmet. I want Brock Bowers. I want DJ Moore. I want Marvin Harrison Jr. Now let me see what you're going to do. Now who are you going to cover? Now who are you going to double team? Now where are you going to shade the safety? Because you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go, because someone can get whoever you shade away from, he's the guy who's going to hurt you.
And as deep as this draft is, talent, offense, the receivers, unbelievable. I mean, there are comparisons to Harrison Jr. that are other receivers that are out there. And you're talking potentially 10 to 12 receivers that people are going to die for. But here's the deal. If you look at the way, and I hate saying it because we don't want to talk too much about the dark side, but the Green Bay Packers, if you look at who they drafted, those guys, I mean, Watson, he started off a little sluggish because he had the injury, whatever, understandably.
He dropped the first pass of the year in 23 with Rodgers. Remember, he doing a 75-yard touchdown pass, beats the dude and drops it.
Yeah. Yeah, and now
I agree with you, bro.
And that other receiver
Romeo Dobbs from Texas A&M. They did it right. Romeo Dobbs, yeah. And then they this year they drafted Jalen Reed. So now they got another scat. Now they got a scat receiver. They got the speed guy, the deep guy. They got the route runner in Romeo Dobbs. And then you got the little scat receiver who's a pain in the ass once he catches the ball. Like, they did it right. So your quarterback sat for 3 years in Green Bay. Okay, sat for 3 years, same system, same play caller. How beneficial is that to Love coming out this year, his 4th year, where he's been in the same system for 3 years with the same play caller? Like, people don't get that, man.
Well, and then look
how
at
important that is.
Look at the Eagles and look at the Dolphins. The way they built out of the draft, they put all these pieces around their quarterback in their defense, offense, all that. Now, what do the Eagles do to put on the finishing touch? They go out and get a first-round draft pick receiver. They don't even stop there. But it took years. It didn't happen right away. You were asking for this right away, right? It took a long time. Now look at who they finished it off with. They went out and got that badass from Tennessee, that top receiver out of there. You know, that guy, that monster, like 6'4", whatever, that monster receiver. You know what I'm talking about?
Who you said?
Tennessee Titans, that receiver that the Eagles picked up.
Oh, AJ Brown? No.
Yeah, AJ Brown. They didn't go out and get that stud receiver right away. They worked up to that. They built a team, and then they go out and get him, and then that is what really, in my mind, unleashed a lot of mayhem. You know what I mean? Same thing with Baltimore. It took them a while to finally go get a stud receiver. Now look who's reaping the rewards of that. But they had their tight ends in place. They had 400 different running backs. Anybody that comes in there is going to freaking take off, you know? I mean, unbelievable. I think we really got to build this team up, and we can't just go hard through the draft. I have no problem with, like you said, going out and get a left tackle at 9 or potentially an edge rusher or something like that. That's going to – guess what? The thing about it is people don't realize when you build your defense up, you're giving your quarterback a shorter field to work with. He doesn't have to go 80 yards. He don't have to go 100 yards. He's got a short field. Hey, kick a freaking field goal. Give him 10, 15 yards to get down the field, a couple first downs. Next thing you know, 20 yards. Now you kick a field goal. We get run it back. You know what I mean? You are actually helping your quarterback out by beefing this defense up. Every good Super Bowl that's ever had a really good quarterback has a good defense behind it. You know that, Shawn. You know? Yep. So
I'm okay with number.
Yeah. I think we're doing it right, you know?
I think with number 9, I trade back. Okay. Someone who wants to come up, because listen, there's going to be quarterbacks that they want. I mean, you still got JJ McCarthy. You got Caleb Williams, you got Drake May, Jaden Daniels is in the mix now. You got Bo Nix. You got Michael Penix Jr. You got J.J. McCarthy. That's 6. All right, that's 6 people. But also don't forget, now you got Marvin Harrison Jr. That's 7. Olu, that's 8. All right, some people like Malik Neighbors. That's 9. All right, so those are 10. There's about 9 or 10 guys in there. All right, some people may want to jump up. If you want a J.J. McCarthy, you may want to jump up from 16 to 9. Okay, that's what the Bears like. Okay, good. We'll jump it. We'll switch. We'll take your 16, but give me a second-round pick this year as well. Because if we miss out on Marvin Harrison Jr., I won't be as mad. I mean, it'll take about a couple sessions of therapy. I'll be fine, but I won't miss out because this draft is so deep. Because we could get a Malik Neighbors. Because we could go get a Romeo Donzi. Because we could go get an Xavier Leggett out of South Carolina. Like, this so deep. Like, there's guys that we can go get who are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Put them on the other side of DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And now we're cooking with gas. And I'm okay with if we lose the only person that I believe in this draft is generational and a can't miss is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes.
All right. But I'll take not taking him to get a great receiver.
Yeah.
Give me a great receiver as opposed to a receiver that I feel is generational. Okay, fine, because we get more picks. Because if we get a second round pick from a team that's at 16, man, that's like in the middle of the second round, and we don't even have a second round pick right now.
Yeah.
So I like trading back there. All right, but I definitely want one of those. If we trade back to 3, or 1 to 2, 2 to 3, or 1 to 2, 2 to 5. I don't know if Marvin Harris will be there at 5, but I would love Marvin Harrison Jr. If not, we need a stud receiver coming out, and we need a stud center. One of those 3. Everything else, I trust Poles. I trust him completely, but I need those guys.
Bro, I wish you could have asked Fields in the locker room, who does he want coming out of the draft? Like, what position? That would have been awesome because seriously, what about having a formidable offensive line that protects your generational talent quarterback that we've wanted the whole history of? I talked to Tommy, the hardest position in the history of ever that's always remained up until the 85 Bears. Jim McMahon had 104.5 QB rating, all that stuff, obviously because he had Walter and freaking all that amazing stuff going on, is a quarterback. It's the hardest position, and we're the hardest at that position, and it's the most demanding position, and we put that pressure on that position, and Justin has those shoulders to withstand that. You know what I'm saying? But we have to protect him. So maybe, we give up, like you said earlier, to pass up on that generational talent wide receiver, but get a generational talent offensive lineman to protect our generational, quarterback. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do. We need to keep them upright. 135 sacks in 3 years is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying, Shawn?
Oh, man.
300 sacks from Peyton Manning. He was in the league 17 years, and he was sacked 300 times. You know what I'm saying? You look at Justin Fields, he's already had 135, bro, in 3 years. That's a lot of wear and tear. We got to protect that, man. We got to keep him upright,
Here's I was doing some real quick research this here. The 83 draft is what did it for us. That's the 83 draft is what did it for us.
Is that when we got Keith Van Horn?
Covert, Thayer, Bortz.
Oh, Bortz, yeah.
And that's 3. I thought that was
Keith Van Horn was a first-round draft pick too, but maybe he came later.
Yeah, let's see. 83. I'm looking at the draft picks here.
When did Keith come? The 4th, 84. I know he was a first round.
I'm going to check, yeah, because here's because 83 is Colbert. We got him in the 6th pick, Hall of Fame. Another first round pick. We had Willie Gault at 18. L.A. Mike, the defensive back. Dave Duerson, defensive back. Tom Thayer, the guard. Pat Dunsmore, the tight end. Richard Dent in the 8th round. Mark Bortz in the 8th round. So let's see. Had to be, was it 84 then that they got him the year before?
Dude, you know, Danimal told me in his interview, he said he rode Dent's ass till he freaking showed up. Like when he first got there, he was like, dude, he's so lazy, man. I had to stay on him and freaking hey, listen, you're a coach, right? You know all about their defensive coach, Buddy Ryan, and how hard he was. You know, he was like the general out there. But could you imagine that these guys kept each other accountable that tough? You know what I mean?
That's when you have a great team.
Yeah.
Great teams do that, bro.
Have you been on a team like that?
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I played my college team. I played at Holy Cross. So my guy Junior knows this. Van Horn was 81. My college
you
team.
got a guy that watches that played on the same team with you?
No. Yeah. Armando Lara Jr. We played semi-pro together with the Chargers. And,
cool.
He was my guard.
Nice.
But in college, man, my first 3 years there, when we left, before my head coach left to go coach at the University of Maryland, we had 30 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. Both losses were the Army. So I had an All-American every year. My freshman year, we had Dave Murphy. He was a first team. He was a cornerback. He set the NCAA record, all levels, for interceptions. He was a first team, and I also had a defensive lineman, Tim Downing, who was a first team All-American. My second year, I played with an All-American linebacker, AP All-American linebacker, Craig Callahan. My third year, I played with a first team AP All-American quarterback and Tom Chacho, first team All-American running back who played in front of me, Jerome Fuller. So we had, the leaders that we had, it was insane. And then when I played with the Thunder, dude, we had, so 2 teams folded. Real quick story. 2 teams folded after the 04 season. All right. And the best players went to the Thunder. So the Chargers that I was on, Junior had retired already. We went over there. The Knights went over there. And, bro, I'm telling you, we literally had 35, 40 people at workouts. Just workouts, just getting out in the park before we could get pads on everything. We're talking 40 people. And the defense was something else. Like they had played together for a while. Then they started adding pieces, like 2 of the best defensive linemen from the Niles Knights. We had one guy that came over from and man, the way they talked to each other and yelled at each other, it was like they did not let anything slide. Like, what are you doing? No, you need to be over here. Oh, my bad, man. Don't do this shit again. You know what I mean? And again, no one took it personal because we all wanted to win. And if you're being corrected, you're okay. You take it and you roll with it. And those defenses that we had, and finally the offense was finally able to catch up with the Thunder because they always had great defenses. And when me and my buddy Mark got there, like they called us the Angus backfield, bro. And they just he was 240, I played at 215. Like, dude, getting through him and then getting through me, it was nuts. So we had a lot of accountability on the offensive side of the ball because my quarterback was All-American with the Thunder, and he didn't play. Like, he was no frills. He'd say, hey, get him out. All right, you need to learn how to fucking catch. I'm not going to throw you a goddamn ball. Get out. Serious. And it was like literally accountability from the stars on the offense to the leaders on the offense and the leaders on the defense. Just great. And that's why we won 2 national championships, went down to Florida couple years. So it's good to have those type of people when the players can police themselves and the coach doesn't have to do it. It's a different vibe. AB, great stuff, Papa. I do got to run. Do me a favor though, before you go, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online, your podcast, all that good stuff.
Cool. Yeah, we're on YouTube and we're on Facebook under Chicago Sports Podcast, and just find us there, and then Twitter as well. So yeah, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate you. I got one last question I have to ask you. With that team that you were talking about from Holy Cross, it almost sounds like your team, your practices could have been more difficult than the team you were playing that week, you know?
They were. Because we had everybody, the quality of talent we had was second to none. Second, yeah. I mean, everyone, there was literally a battle every week, every day for people trying to depth chart and guys holding people back down on the depth chart because it was great. It was competition at its finest, bro.
Cool.
Hey, we'll talk soon, man. Thanks, B. We'll talk. Great stuff, bro. We could talk for hours, bro.
Right.
All right. We'll talk soon, man. Thank you. Guys, that was Brandon Hyatt from the Chicago Sports Podcast. But we got to bounce. I got to go pick up the warden from CrossFit. Hey, listen, phenomenal show Monday. Stay tuned. 12:15. We have Second City Sports. 3 o'clock, I'll be on with Nomad again today. That'll be on Nomad's Network. We're going to get it on Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube and our StreamYard. We're going to get all that stuff together. 6 o'clock, we have we have What's Up Cuz with Jason and Lance. And then at 8 o'clock, we'll have replay this show. All right. So for everybody here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot, executive producer Elliot Baez, Clarence Council, my social media guy, and my co-host at Absentia Maya. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal day. Beast mode. It's Monday, baby. Activate beast mode, baby. Let's do it. I will see you on Wednesday. Same bad time, same bad channel, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Time. I'm out.